What's up? Welcome to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective. I feel solid today. I'm on day 3 of my juice cleanse, day 3 of 3. I did think about food a little bit earlier, but I'm on day 3 of 3, like I said. I got, 12 more hours in the day. I got 4 more juices left to drink. I should have 3, but I forgot to bring my juices with me, so therefore I'm a little behind on my juice schedule, but I've been drinking a lot of water. I think I didn't really weigh myself, but at the beginning and the end, oh, but I approximated, I weighed myself last week, and I think that I have taken down approximately 3 pounds in 2 days. It was not necessarily weight loss that I started doing this for. I mean, this is my 3rd time doing this particular juice cleanse, and I won't do it more than once in a 6-month span. But every once in a while, like maybe twice a year, I'll take one of these, and they're really good for like giving your gut a rest and getting rid of toxins. And honestly, day 1, I felt horror awful. I had the worst migraine. I felt nauseous. My head was spinning. Anytime a scent of food was around me, I just wanted to eat it all. But by day 2, I was like, I'm here in the middle. Time just keeps moving. And now on day 3, I'm like, if I had to do another 3 days after this 3, I could do it. No joke. I know it sounds like an easy thing to say on the last day, but when I get locked into things, when I really get locked into doing things, I'm very committed to those things. Like, you can't break my commitment. When I'm halfway committed to something, yeah, I'm gonna trail off. But sorry, I was reading a message that popped up. Hi, Charicity. But when I'm like super locked into something, you can't break my momentum or my stride or anything like that. I'm off today. That's another reason why I feel wonderful. I took 2 days off, today and tomorrow. There was no rhyme or reason to the days off, right? Because, well, there was a rhyme and there was a reason. I was very stressed out over things that were going on at work last week, and I told y'all that I wanted to take Thursday and Friday of last week off. But one thing about me is, even in the midst of BS going on at my job, I think more about my clients than I do about the administration. So essentially what that meant for me is that I had a bunch of things scheduled with my clients for Friday and Thursday of last week, and I could have just canceled those all out, called out sick, and been like, hey, it sounds like a Monday problem, right? But I was like, I've been in those positions before where I'm depending on people, and that delay and postponement is a big deal. So I said to myself, I'm going to close out the week, and I'm going to come in on Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday and Thursday next week, I'm out. So this is what I'm doing now. I went to the gym. I did some cleaning. I am about to go to the barber shop. Like this, I don't like rest days. This is an active rest day. Let's call it that. It's an active rest day. I know that rest for some people traditionally is just sleeping, but for me, rest can be things that I'm doing that are low stress that don't drain my energy, or even, things that I like doing. So that's what I'm on right now. Do 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 do. Yeah, so in terms of what's happening in the Big Brother house, I saw that they formed a professors. I called them I laughed because I said professors, because they're not called the professors. They're called the judges. But when I looked at the group, I thought professors. Let me see if I can remember this, because I only saw it once. I know Will was in there for sure. I know that Rachel was in there. I know that Morgan, Vince, and Ashley. I think that's the group. I think it's 5 of them. Will, Rachel, Morgan, Vince, and Ashley. And I had to laugh to myself when I saw that collection of people, because I was like, yo, Vince being in there number 1 is something. Like, I wouldn't want Vince in my group. Morgan is so day-to-day flip-floppy, and the 2 of them are in there together. Ashley is a constant wild card. Will be in whatever group that you include him in, because Will has become a master at that fence, man. The thing that I like though about Will, the reason why I don't put him in the same category as like a Vince or a Keanu, is because even though he will be in all the conversations with every group, he does not necessarily commit to every group. So the groups that he commits to, you'll hear him speaking. And like when he's with Ashley, Ashley pretty much, I don't know if they've declared this, but Ashley is pretty much his number 1 from what I see. And then in the outskirts, 2 through 5, I don't know what order, but I know that after Ashley, Rachel, Ava, used to be Mickey, but I think Morgan has taken that spot, and I think that's where he's at right now. But he does not really declare extra stuff. That's one thing I don't like about the current Big Brother cast. Most of them is that they'll be like, let's do this blood bond. Let's make this incision and bond by the blood of our brotherhood and sisterhood. And it's like, no, you need to learn the art of being in the room, listening to the conversation, parroting the conversation a little bit, but not really being really hardcore to where somebody will leave the room and say, I think I got Mark. Mark is one of our numbers. But meanwhile, did I actually say that I'm one of your numbers? Or did I just kind of loosely participate in the conversation, if you get what I'm saying? Will is doing that masterfully. Ava, man, people are getting Ava and Will into the jury. If they both get into the jury, people might underestimate how dangerous that actually is, because you got 2 wild cards with major social games potentially working together, and they might make some slick moves that might surprise you. And don't put it past one of them to win a competition or 2. Anyone can win a competition. Crash out Keanu. Keanu is, my goodness, I don't know what world he's living in, because every time I see him having conversations with people, I'm like, do you understand that these people are not working with you, sir? Because I heard him a couple nights ago when I was watching him talk to Rachel, and he was just like, Rachel, yeah, so Riley, you gotta believe me that Riley is so on my side, and you messed up so bad by putting him on the block and blah blah blah. And he was just like, how I know he's on my side is because we talk to each other all the time, and we hug, and we tell each other I love you at the end. And I say to him, I'd be so devastated if you ever put me up. And he says the same. And I'm like, you do realize you're playing the game. You're playing a game, right? So some of those I love yous and hugs are part of the game. Because from what I've seen, Riley does not rock with him in the game like that. Especially because he believes that Keanu was a part of, or at least had an inkling or knew something about the fact that he was going to be the replacement Nam. And he spent the last couple of days schmoozing and ass kissing, trying to let it be known like Rachel did her own move and I had nothing to do with it, and therefore I'm still with you. I still want to go to this final whatever 5-6 with you, with or without her. And that's what's happening with Keanu. But Keanu doesn't realize that it's a small house. Rachel still has connections to different conversations and access to different people who are telling her different things that he's saying. Last night, I wish I could have stayed up, but the conversation started so late. But it was this interesting conversation. I think it was between Rachel, Ashley, Morgan, and I want to say Will was a part of that conversation. And they were talking about different things, and one of the topics was Keanu. And they were talking about, Rachel was just like, I don't really know how much I trust that guy. And the thing is, Morgan doesn't trust him. Ashley doesn't trust him. Will, I don't think, really trusts him. So some of the people that she's closest aligned with have been telling her, like, Keanu is not trustworthy. So I think that she was talking to him, and they were talking about this duo name for themselves called the Frenemies, and they were like, Rachel was like, but we're not really frenemies, because I don't need frenemies, I need friends. I feel like Rachel and Keanu could possibly be friends outside of the house, but I feel like they are frenemies for real. I feel like they're really frenemies in the house, because the way that Keanu will try to spin something to her, and then he'll leave her immediately and go tell somebody else, and then spin it a whole different way, and the way that he's willing to drop her at any sign that somebody doesn't like her. I'm not that close with her. It seems like it, but I'm still worried about what she's gonna do. She doesn't tell me anything. I mean, Ashley kind of does the same thing, to tell you the truth, but Ashley is a little better at it, and she is a bit more discreet. Ashley has better reads on the game to me than Keanu does. Well, that's not saying much, because everyone has better reads on the game than he does. Like, he got off the block for a week and got so arrogant. Like, he felt like because Rachel didn't put him on the block, that he went from being the permanent block choice to like running the game. When it's like, there's several people who, if they win the HOH, will put you back on the block. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about him trying to latch on to like Riley, Catherine, and those people. I mean, I don't know if they won't put him on the block, but I think that he would be in just as much danger as Rachel herself. Like, they would put him next to Rachel on the block to break them up. So that's where I'm currently at with what's happening in the game. If I had to pick the people who are having the best week and the worst week, I think Mickey is having one of the worst weeks. It's just a continuation of her HOH and what happened in her HOH. And then, she's been really. The thing with, there's an art to a conversation, and some people have that and some people don't. Like, when I say there's an art, you're trying to get to the same main focal point. Yourself and like Keanu and then Ashley, is just because I use those two names already. They will both be trying to say the same thing, but Ashley will say it in a way that is like lighthearted, and she'll try to make it like, I'm just presenting you with information. You can take that information and do what you want with it, but it's ultimately your choice. Whereas Keanu is like, when Keanu talks to someone, he'll be like, this is 100% the best move, and there is a 0% chance of this person putting you on the block, and there's 100% chance that this person is on our side, and there's a 0% chance that if they won HOH that you or I would go up, and there's 100% chance that this is going to happen, and a 0% chance that that's going to happen. And it's like, bro, people have their own brains, people have their own thoughts about things, and there's no such thing as a 100% chance in the Big Brother house at all. Hi Jacqueline and hi Janice. There's no such thing as a 100% chance at anything in any Big Brother house. I forgot who said it, but it's like, checks bounce in the Big Brother house, and they do. So he's overly confident, and I'm not going to say Mickey is overly confident, but I think that she needs to work a little bit on her finesse game. Because really, like, you're trying to finesse people. You're not just trying to tell them what to do. Because if they feel like you are controlling them, then they're going to take your conversation and go talk to somebody else. That's the way how Vince got his hooks into Lauren. Because very early on, he saw how impressionable she was, and he would have all these conversations with her where he was just like, well, this is what could happen if you do this, and this is what could happen if you do that, but obviously you're very smart and you know what you're doing. I'm just telling you, this is the potential repercussions of this, but this is the benefits of doing that. Really, he was giving her his playbook of what he wants, and she was following it, but feeling like she was making her own choice. Then when Rachel tried to come and talk to her later and be like, you should be listening to me and not somebody who's unemployed and in his 30s, what did she do? She went right back to him and told him everything, and he gave her like a Rachel is an evil witch narrative. And then from there, she was just like, yeah, Rachel is an evil witch. I'm scared of her. And she's the boogeyman and the Wizard of Oz. She's the boogeyman and she's the Wizard of Oz. Rachel's speech might have worked on her, and it probably would have. It's just that I think that she considered Lauren an insignificant part of the game. And so she didn't think that she was important. But Lauren, while insignificant to me in the grand scheme of things, is, excuse me, she is important in a sense of swing votes, a possible jury vote, because nobody seems urgent to get rid of her. And she can win an occasional comp, as you can see. So she's one of those, she's a +1 to Vince. Whatever Vince is going to do, she's going to do. And Vince having her so much in his back pocket got him off the block this week. even though I think that he had a decent chance of beating either of those two ladies, not just in the blockbuster, but if he had stayed on the block against one of them, I think he had a pretty decent chance of having the votes to stay. But since he has her so much in his back pocket, he guaranteed his way. He guaranteed his way by her winning that POV and taking him off. Vince's game, man. I personally would look at Vince and be like, get this guy out of here. Like, it's just woe is me. He has this woe is me, let me cry and say this crying, self-deprecating style to himself, you know. And I just wouldn't like that personally, but somehow it seems to work on the house guests. Wouldn't work on me, but it seems to work on them. And that's all I got for right now. But thanks for joining me. I'll be back on possibly after the episode. I can't actually guarantee that, because like I said, I'm off today, so I'm going to be out and about all day. So I don't know if I'll be back by 8, but if I am, I will definitely hop on and do an episode recap for y'all. Right now, I'm about to head to the barber shop, and from there, a few other plans. So please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.